The world's largest snow and ice festival happens every year in Edmonton's sister city, Harbin, China. And this year, Mayor Andrew Knack was there for that festival to learn more about winter tourism. While their city was kind of struggling with a lot of snow, the mayor is home now and joins us this morning with more on this. So, first of all, your trip. What did you learn on this trip?
So much. I think there's a lot of great economic development opportunities and learning opportunities, exchange opportunities that we have with our sister city in Harbin. We've been sister cities for 40 years. They're a post-secondary leader in China. We're a post-secondary leader here in Alberta. They do incredible work around the ice and snow economy, both on the tourism side with that festival, but also just how they manage snow and ice in a winter city that's a very similar climate to Edmonton. So I see a lot of potential economic development opportunities and winter tourism opportunities, things that we're going to work on. We're hopefully going to welcome the mayor of Harbin later this year. And so excited about what the future of our sister city relationship will look like and how we can leverage each other's strengths going forward.
Now, this is happening the week before Mark Carney now going to China
Yes.
to extend trade talks. How much is on the line for Edmonton with this warming of relations with China?
Well, I think, again, we're looking, especially as the city of Edmonton here, I talked about this, that we haven't really focused on economic development in a meaningful way in quite some time. And as we struggle with the financial realities of managing a city and different changes in funding from other orders of government, we need to work on how we grow our economy, how we grow our non-residential tax base to help make sure we're funding the core services that people want. Things like snow removal, which we know are important.
Yeah, now let's talk about snow removal. A lot of people unhappy with the process from that big snowfall at Christmas time all the way till now. We're just now getting to residential roads. What do you say to people who are frustrated with how the snow clearing has gone?
I think they're right to be frustrated, right? I mean, people were getting stuck on local streets. And it doesn't matter, the explanation I can give about the budget that we have and how that's changed and how city crews were prioritizing getting rid of windrows on main roads. At the end of the day, when you're getting stuck on your local road, that's a justifiable frustration. And people want to know what we're going to be doing differently. And so this is why I've said, as we go throughout 2026 and work to recreate our budget from the ground up, snow removal has to be a critical element of that. We need to properly budget for a city that's now 1.2 million people, that has far more thousands of kilometers of roads than we did 20 or 30 years ago. Let's make sure our budget reflects the reality that we're facing. And yes, we saw an abnormal amount of snow, especially from Christmas Eve all the way through to January 1st. And that created challenges. But we can still put in a budget that, even if it's made to reflect a larger snowfall. If we don't see as large of a snowfall, it means we can just address the concerns we're seeing more quickly. And so I get why people are frustrated, and I get why people want to see action. And this next 4-year budget will allow us to take action on that.
So as you head towards that process, what do you want to change?
What do I want to change? I want to make sure we have a proper budget in place. I don't think it's large enough to, I don't think, even with the increases that we've seen each year from 2023, including 24, 25, 26, it hasn't grown enough to reflect how much our roadway network has grown over that same, last 10, 20 years. So we need a budget that's more reflective of what you see in cities like in Eastern Canada. Ottawa spends about $30 million a year more than we do, and they have a smaller roadway network. Montreal spends about 5 times what we spend. So our budget needs to be larger. It needs to allow us to address the main roads more quickly and then moving into local roads more quickly.
Now, you've heard from a lot of people who are angry about the snow clearing, but do you think those people are willing to pay more in taxes to have a bigger snow clearing budget?
And that's part of the conversation I've said we're going to have throughout 2026. So this budget conversation is not going to be done in City Hall. It's going to be out in the community. We need to go talk with Edmontonians and say, here's what it costs to run a city of our size, to run a city of 1.2 million that is as physically large as is our city now. And if we want to put money in these areas, this is how much it would cost additionally, or here's what we would be willing to cut in order to fund those things at a higher level. So that's the part of the work that has to happen. But I think snow removal is one of those services that people just want to see more work in. Even with this abnormally large snowfall, there are other years, previous years in my 12 years on council, that people really get frustrated about the local roads in their community. And so I think we need to do better on the local roads.
Is this as bad as it's going to get? Do you think it's going to get better from here?
Absolutely. The fact is blading started yesterday, so work is already underway. We're seeing over the next 13 days at most, all of these local roads will be bladed. That's important work. It's going to leave behind some larger windrows, which will also be frustrating for people, but I think it's better to have some larger windrows and much smoother roads than what we have right now, which is people, we're seeing cars, we're seeing buses, we've seen even an emergency vehicle get stuck in the snow. That's not acceptable.
Okay. Mayor Andrew Knack, thank you so much for your time.
Anytime.
We really appreciate it.